Hello, my name is Tom. I'm 55 years old, and now I am on my way to heading to the first happiness of a tri-generation family. Being deceived when being a child and continued to be when being an old father by the people I respect the most is nothing when things are back to where they are now. All of them were bright again. My dad is a pure Asian. He fell in love with my mother, an American woman, and gave birth to me, an Asian American child. My mother died when I was born, so my father had to raise me alone. That was what my dad told me since I was small. I grew up in fulfillment, going to school, going out, shopping, and messing with things I enjoy. But in all of those cannot fulfill in the gap inside me, the gap that my mom left me when I was a child. I was jealous of my classmates' lunches, which were prepared by their mothers, and they were very attractive, while I only had white rice, some vegetables, and fried eggs every day. I feel lonely when in the class and school outings. My friends, they had a father and a mother. They had the choice of who to go with, or both, which seemed to be the most normal, but I could not decide. Then, when I was in a mess, my dad was psychological. He used to be a child. He understood that this was normal. Perhaps my grandparents used to be too strict with my dad in the past, so that now my dad does not even bother to remind me, which mothers often do with their families. I cannot feel motherhood. Even so, I am still grateful that I still have a dad. Dad was the only motivation for me to exist. Everything I do is just to make him happy. Trying to achieve high results at school, trying to apply for a stable job, and getting married with a good wife, giving birth to cute children. I all thought for Dad. But then God was still cruel to me. When my dad was 77 years old, he was diagnosed with acute pneumonia. Inside him, there contained a virus with an unbelievable spreading rate. Simply understand, the virus did not allow him to move and act like normal people. Simple conversations, passing air or objects he touches will also spread the risk to many people. Age has a major impact on his health situation. The virus made him feel hard to breathe, high fever, and his whole body felt heavy after repeated coughing spells. Fortunately, my finances were not bad. I could give my dad a safe life with the isolation room and professional nurses. My mom died when I was very young. I do not want that loss to happen again. Shortly thereafter, his situation seemed worse. Dad confided that he used to have a very close friend, but she left when her family wanted her to marry another rich man. He wanted to go and find her on his own. Instead, his health would not allow him to do it now. Dad handed me a crumpled sheet of paper, which headed for a land in America. There was something that were wondering inside me, and I quickly realized it. My mom is also an American. Could she ever be my mom? It was so easy to think that it was easy for an orphan from an early age like me. I yearn for that to happen, but the reality shows that mom has gone for a long time. Could they really just be friends? The phrase, "another rich man," gave me the answer. I thought she left both of us because our situation was not as good as that man. Dad lied to me because he did not want me to know this disgusting truth. Because of the reason to see that wealth lover, he wanted to deceive me. Dad wanted me to think that woman was simply his friend. I hated her. So many desires to feel the motherhood before, now dissipated. I do not want to see that pragmatic woman again. But he wanted to know about her, the last wish of a late father. How a child like me could refuse? Tracing the address from Dad's paper, my head felt annoying, but my heart was hoping for something, maybe something I'd been expecting for so long. Setting foot on the cold land, my chest throbbed and my body felt hot. I was nervous. Suddenly I saw the old shape of a woman about 75 years old at the end of the alley. She has the same hair as me and a pair of talking eyes. Her eyes looked up at me as if they were about to cry. Her hands were shaking and her legs felt unsteady. She called, "Tom?" There was no one in the alley. She called me? She knew my name. Is this a coincidence? But those eyes were right. She wanted to call me. I suddenly felt like her. She is my mother. There was no mistake. She cried because she felt guilty for abandoning me. I was sure so. We had a talk right in this humid place. The place where she lives is a small, cramped, and dark house. I was shocked to see her poor living condition. Did she not give up on us due to that hard life? Where did the man go? Has he spurned her? There were so many questions in my mind right now. What was revealed made me become a selfish idiot. My mother, she cried a lot when telling me the story. Tears rolled out of the eyes, glided through each wrinkle, and fell gently onto the lapel. Her appearance made my heart ache, and my mind almost fainted. How much resentment before I let go of all? I listened to the story with my sobbing heart. She told me stories about how much she and my dad loved each other so much when they were working so hard together. They loved each other, but her paternal family did not allow her because they thought she was a homeless person abroad and fled to Asia to pay off the debt. They thought that she wanted to marry my dad just to have a decent and profitable place. Used him just to manage her situation. This will be harmful to his entire family. My parents kept all their promises, but the situation did not get better, even my presence. They accepted me but rejected my mom. My mom had to leave me with my dad, and she had right when I turned 1 year old. When she was gone, she thought that one day she would come back. She did not marry any man, but the dream of that day was too difficult even when she devoted her whole life to work. Her current whereabouts are the most realistic answer. The story was so heartbreaking. I embraced those thin, trembling shoulders. I trusted her. At this moment, my mind was running at full power, and my heart was tightening. My mom did not die, she was alive, and always thinking of my dad and me. What I thought of my mom was all wrong. My mom left me not because she was heartless or unintentional. She left because she wanted me to be with her father. My life would be fuller, and I do not have to be hardships like her. She left me not because of her hard and poor life, but because there were people who could not accept her there. My mom had suffered too much because of me. So has my dad. He gave me the most insightful thoughts too. He hid me from the fact that my mom was still alive so that I could grow up calmly without any hope. At the end of his life, he remembered my mom and wished to see her again, his love for her still the same. He hoped so, but he did not want to hurt me either. What do you think it would be like if he told me the truth? I would be eager to find my mother, certainly. Then what if I could not find her or found her was being happy with another man but not my father? I will be exploded in frustration and painful the most. My dad is so wonderful and selfish. He just wanted to know alone, whether sweet or bitter. He would taste it himself every day. Fortunately, I met my mom right now. She was still fine, still alone. She will come back to my dad and my small family. On the plane, I imagined my dad's face when he received the greatest gift of his life. He will get well soon. Together we will create the true happiness of a big family. These things were simple but not easy things have been my longings for nearly a lifetime. If you're lucky enough to have them, be respectful. Do not let a day come when you lose them. You will realize what they really mean. Then it will be too late.